Matthew Perreault, is he in tonight?
Yes.
Do you expect him to get any power play time?
Yes.
Who has to come out in order for him to go in?
There's a number of options. We'll talk to them directly before we talk to you.
And, okay, fourth line is he playing on with Thorburn?
It all depends on how they play.
Okay, what challenges do the Chicago Blackhawks pose for you tonight?
Real transition speed is active a back end as there is in the league, not just off the rush, but in the offensive zone as well. Quite a bit of movement, pure skill, finish, but the speed and transition of their game.
Just where you place Perreault, is that going to be a function as much of not wanting to disrupt other lines as wanting
Correct.
to work him back in?
Correct.
Right. Will you be cautious with his minutes?
No, he'll play that role, and if that line's going, we'll play him more.
As you get more guys coming back into the lineup, Adam Lowry filling the spot that he's been able to do, just what have you seen, maybe what were your expectations and what's he been able to do since that?
Well, both he and Mark jumped a hole, and we've used Adam to play against the other team's best quite a bit at home. He's been incredibly effective. I think the thing that we see is what's coming out of his game is that youth. You know, he's a very conscientious player. So he would have worked very hard to be in the right spots early on. Now he doesn't seem to have to process as much to do it. He knows where he's supposed to be. He's closing the gap. He's always been a physical player, but he's in the right spots. And it gives us another option. I mean, that's the job Adam Lowry's training for, to be in that role, to play against the other team's best. He's been successful enough at it that you can make adjustments road and home now with him, depending on the matchups, and get him more minutes and play him out of the third line role and change the rotation off the bench by changing your lines. He's really just continued, and I think on a pretty steady curve over the course of the year. But we've had a lot of good things happen to our team because of the injuries that we faced, and one of them, for sure, is both those young centermen have an opportunity to play against top-end players, and they've had some success doing it.
Mo, structurally, the Blackhawks in the last couple of games have gotten a little bit out of whack, and I know you've got the personnel here with the Jets that you can take advantage of that at times. What signs do you look for on the ice that that's happening?
I finished watching a Chicago game, and I look at the 7 opportunities they didn't score on and know that they can put those 7 in for fun one night. So you never leave a game watching Chicago play, in my opinion, feeling that the other team beat them. They have the opportunity, they have the skill set, and they generate enough each night. In all those games, there was in their last games, a bit of a tipping point where it went one way or the other, and it turned on a play or a bobbled puck at the blue line that went down and changed, at 1-0 to 1-1. That game's different if that puck gets held in. So you're on edge the entire night with this team because you never, ever have control of the game.
What advantage? Oh, sorry.
Paul, is it looking like Brian Little's close to getting back?
We'll have to make a decision on him for New York, yeah.
Chicago's right above you in the standings now. Just interested in your opinion on what advantage you would get by passing them for the second or the first wild card rather than the second.
The only advantage is being in the top 8, because after that, what's the door prize for finishing first overall if you get Chicago, LA? Be careful about what you wish for in this league. We want to get in. We don't care who we play. I don't know that changing spots, changing seeds increases your chances of continuing on past the first round one bit. There's going to be 8 great teams that make the playoffs and a handful of others really, really good teams that didn't, and darn well expect to the next year. So I really haven't spent any time trying to process the what-ifs. Certainly not with 7 games left on the schedule.